International, and joining us now is film critic Mr. Sherif Awad. Mr. Sherif, welcome with us.
Welcome, thank you.
Well, recently the 31st Film Festival for Mediterranean countries has wrapped up its 31st session. I'd like to know what's different this year's round than last year's and previous years.
Yes, basically the festival, since the first year of its initiation, was revolving about Mediterranean countries, so we were expecting only films from this region. Since the first year it was only for long narrative films from Mediterranean countries, but since Mr. Amir Abaza, the current president of the festival, came on board, he decided to expand the festival to include short films from the Mediterranean countries since 2 years ago. Then this year the festival expanded more. It has right now up till 6 competitions, including 2 Arab competitions, one for long narratives and another for long documentaries from the Arab countries, another short competition for Arab shorts, and it has also a national competition for Alexandrian filmmakers doing their first or second shorts. Basically they are film students or graduates. So right now the festival has 6 competitions in addition to the special programs. All of them, and this year also the total number of films reach out more than 300 films. So it's right now it's a very big festival.
Now, this year's round actually it paid tribute, and it was in the name of the great actor Mahmoud Yassin. And the significance of that, would you talk to us about that?
Well, every year we select an actor to be given a tribute at the opening ceremony, and also later on in the second or third day he has like a conference to meet the media to speak about his bulk of work. Last year we gave a tribute to Sherif, and he was among us, and it was a chance to meet him and to give him a tribute. This year we give, I think, to Mahmoud Yassin. He belongs to the same generation of Sherif, and it is a chance to meet him and to speak about his art, his work in cinema, theater, and in television as well. And I think he's one of the symbols not only in Egyptian but in Arab art in general.
Also, there was a special section dedicated to the Syrian cinema, and actually actor Darid Laham attended the film festival. Now,
Yes.
Would you talk to us about the films that you like, which were made by cinematographers from Syria, please?
Yes, of course we know. Maybe we learned this year that countries that have problems, they have social problems, or they are in a state of war. Sometimes it affects the creativity, for the filmmakers to present more films about the current situation. And to our surprise, there were a lot of really good films produced by Syrian filmmakers. We had a chance also of receiving, like you mentioned, Darid Laham, one of the great symbols of Syrian cinema and art in general, and also the Health Cinema Center. And we received Sulafa Khariji not only as an actress, but presenting her directorial debut. Bassel Khatib as well presented a film about the current situation, about the war. Syrian director Mohammed Abdelaziz present 4 o'clock, the movie 4 o'clock with The Hour of Paradise, and he is quite frequent in Alexandria Festival. His previous film won already an award 5 years ago. And I think it was a chance to showcase Syrian films, because we don't have the chance to see them in Egyptian theaters or even in some of our television channels.
How would you evaluate the Syrian movies?
I think the Syrian cinema currently they try to reflect the current social and political situation
Yes.
in the country. They try to present the Syrian problems from different prospects and different angles. We know that Syria is a very complex country. It has a lot of ethnicity, a lot of different ethnicities living in the country. So it was, I think, a challenge for the filmmakers to present the problems from these different angles, and I think they succeeded to do so.
And it focused on, like you mentioned, the socio-economic aspect and the political aspect, or did it have, this usual, sense of humor for Syrian works? So did it lack this at all?
No, Syria right now is in a very, dramatic situation.
Exactly.
So the filmmaker, especially in The Mother, directed by Bassel Khatib, tried to present what's happening within the Syrian society, the Syrian families, how mothers can lose their children, in a state of war, and how the families can come together, and try to be together to face the violence and to face the state of war.
Now, more than 300 films were screened, 33 from Arab countries participated, and many Arab countries, actually when we look at the awards, many Arab countries were awarded for their works, especially Algeria. The Algerian film, The Well, actually it was awarded 4 awards. So what was unique about that film?
You know that Algeria has a very unique cinema. It is they have reached like a very big popularity in Europe, especially in France. They make use of co-production with many French entities. They try to promote their films during Cannes Festival every year in the film market of Cannes. And I think it paid off this year because The Will is one of the examples. It's a writer-director trial and reflecting the state, some of the small tribes during the Algerian revolution and I guess the French occupation. I think the movie deserves the prizes it received because it has unique cinematography, unique script, very good performance by the actress, and very orchestrated directorial efforts by the filmmakers. And I think the director was very surprised to win all of these awards because he got one, and before he went down from the stage he got another one. So it's a very nice surprise for him. And I want to tell you that the rest of the Algerian film were at the same quality as this film as well.
What about the Syrian film, and I think it was called The Mother, Al-Umm?
Yes, The Mother, I told you it's about directed by Bassel Khatib, who is a very good filmmaker. He got many successes in cinema and in television. And the film speaks about how a mother can, if she loses a child, how the Arab mothers and the Syrian mother are strong to bring the family all together, especially during the time of loss and death and sorrow.
The tributes of the festival were quite unique. To Sousan Badr, they went to Claudia Cardinelli and many others. So would you tell us more about the tributes?
Yes, this year, of course, during the opening ceremony, many actors were giving tribute. We contacted Claudia Cardinal since she was in Wahran or Oran festival in Algeria. We know she was already born in Tunis from Italian to an Italian family. We kept on communicating with her and her agent, but we must know right now she's in a very old age, and we tried to bring her, but she apologized at the last minute. Unfortunately, we were planning a meeting for her at with the press at the Alexandrine Bibliotheca, and a touristic tour in Egypt. For the for the other tributes, Southern Badr is one of the icons, of course, of Egyptian cinema. Very quite known for her roles in television and in cinema. Sorry. And it was a chance for her. I think this is the first time an Egyptian festival give an award to her for her career, despite that many of her films were screened in competitions.
Yes.
And this year as well, the festival gave tribute to Samir Sabri. It's also like an initiative to give a tribute to an artist from Alexandria. And Samir Sabri came and presented some of his films. Let's not forget he was on, one of the main presenters in television and radio in the national television before he became an actor and also a film producer. So he has also a very important career in cinema and television and radio.
Now, was it significant and was it planned that the main competition carried the name of the late Sherif, or was it a last-minute decision?
Well, the decision was made really, I think, on the day when Sherif passed away, because we were happy to have him last year during the festival. And this year we created this Arab long narrative competition to be the host of Arab countries that are not Mediterranean. Try to shed the lights on the latest production. And I think the day Sherif passed away, we had the decision of like iconizing this competition by his name, to have his name for during the future, for eternity, like we say. And yes, we try to give also give some prizes, the name of Omar Sherif, to Fatih Hamama, as well, to have their names on a prize in acting as well.
Yes.
What about? Yeah. So, no, you can.
So I want to ask you about, away from the film festival and moving to the Egyptian, work and the evaluation, your evaluation as a critic of how things are developing in that front. The Egyptian cinema has been struggling, and this is due to a lot of factors, like you mentioned, maybe on the Syrian front, also on the Egyptian front there has been a political situation, and at the same time economic pressure in terms of the production of those movies. So what is your evaluation today for the Egyptian cinema?
Since the revolution in the of January, we had many problems across the street. There were a lot of moments of curfew, and this affects cinema. It affects the box office, and if the box office is affected in a negative way, it also affects the production in quality and in quantity. And you know that during the year, the films produced every year is going from a less number to a lesser number. We in Alexandria Festival and maybe festivals in Egypt, when you try to select an Egyptian film for the competition, we had a lot of difficulties, because a lot of films prefer to go directly to the theater. They don't want to compete in festivals, and other films are not qualified really to compete in a film festival with an international selection of film. And I think this year we tried to get 2 or 3 features, and some of the producers didn't reply to us or declined. We tried to have the latest film by Dawood Abdel Sayed, but producers were thinking to release it between the two Byroms, between the two Eids, the feasts. another important film we were considering was الليلة الكبيرة, The Big Night, by director Samih Abdelaziz, which is like an ensemble cast, and also we didn't get any feedback from the producer. For as for the movies that already were selected, El Morsi Abu al-Abbas was competing in the Arab competition. I think it's like a good, because it's the first film since a long time ago that is shot between Egypt and Morocco.
Yes.
And it's an Egyptian production with an Egyptian and Moroccan cast, and I think we must try to give a chance to co-production or shooting between Arab countries. The other film screened as well was thank you for your condolences. سعيكم مشكور. My opinion, it isn't a movie qualified to compete as a film festival. It is a comedy, you know, based on a British comedy, and even this comedy was remade in the United States later with an African American cast. It was a film called Death at a Funeral. But I think very few films, especially comedy, you cannot make tamsir or Egyptianization, what you call it, like try to transform the jokes into an Egyptian film, which is very difficult. So I think the movie wasn't that qualified to compete in the competition.
Yes, Sherif, Awad, the cinema critic, would like to thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
And now we're moving to another topic, and it is the Mediatopia project. And the media of Egypt is highly influential in Egypt and the Arab world, attributed to its large audience. Throughout history, Egypt has often been reviewed as the Arab region's leader in media. With a large film and entertainment industry, it has been referred to as the Hollywood of the East. As the most populous and one of the most politically influential countries in the Arab world, Egypt has also led the region in the development of a relatively open print and broadcast media. A promising initiative has emerged to regain professionalism and to promote media ethics among young journalists and media workers. We'll be knowing more about this project, the Mediatopia project, right after this break, and this story more or less related to the Mediatopia initiative.